Types of sentences. According to structure, there are four types of sentences like simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentence. Simple sentence. It has just one subject and one predicate. For example, the class started and I do not waste my time. You can see in the first example, the class is subject and started is predicate. And in the second example, I is subject and remaining part of the sentence is predicate. Compound sentence. It has at least two independent clauses joined by a comma, semicolon, or coordinating conjunction. Here is a famous formula, fanboys of coordinating conjunction. If you remember it, then you can easily connect two sentences by using this formula. F for, A for, and, N for, nor, B for, but, O for, or, Y for, yet, and S for, so. For example, the weather was cloudy, but it did not rain. You can see in this sentence the weather was cloudy is independent sentence and it did not rain is also independent sentence and but that is coordinating conjunction is used. Next example, Sarah is hungry yet she shares her food. In this sentence, Sarah is hungry is also an independent clause and she shares her food is independent and yet coordinating conjunction is used. Here the question arises, what is the main difference between dependent clause and independent clause? A dependent clause expresses a complete thought and independent clause does not express a complete thought. This is the main difference. Now, complex sentence. It has one independent clause and one or two dependent clauses. For example, he studied hard because he wanted to go to a medical college as he suffered from diabetes. You can see he studied hard is independent clause and remaining parts of the sentence are dependent clauses. After the game ended, we had lunch. We had lunch is independent clause. After the game ended is dependent clause. Compound complex sentence. It consists of at least two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. For example, when I fell off my bike, I went to the hospital because I broke my arm. In this sentence, I went to the hospital is independent clause and remaining parts of the sentence are dependent clauses. Here is a story by using types of sentences which is the journey of 1,000 steps. Jack had always dreamed of success. He wanted to build a better future, but life was not easy for him. Since childhood, he had faced countless struggles, yet he never gave up. His family was poor and opportunities were scarce, but he believed that hard work could change everything. One day, he decided to leave his small village and move to the city. He had no money, no connections, and no guarantee of success. Although fear gripped his heart, he reminded himself why he had started this journey. If he worked hard, stayed patient, and kept learning, he knew he could achieve his dreams. Jack found a job at a small cafe where he worked long hours cleaning tables and serving customers. He was exhausted every night, yet he never complained. While others rested, he studied under the dim light of his rented room. Time passed and his efforts started paying off. Years later, Jack became the owner of his own business. He had faced failures, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but he had never stopped believing in himself. His journey had been full of struggles, and each hardship had taught him an important lesson. Success, he realized, was not about luck, it was about perseverance, dedication, and faith. Now, as he looked back on his life, he smiled. Every failure had shaped him, every struggle had made him stronger, and every small step had led him to where he was today. If he had given up back then, he would have never discovered his true potential. Life was not easy, but it was worth every challenge.